Father and our God, we are grateful that we have this opportunity. A lot of fun and memories that and no one can take away from me. You know, just an amazing time.
When you're up there with friends, it's really unlike anything else.
Couldn't ask for better guys to be with. The teamwork was great.
It was tough, but I think it brought the group together.
I loved the camaraderie. I loved being with the people. I loved the amount of work that it was to make the hunt happen.
Week 2 would prove to be a lot more trying than week 1. Austin had been in the backcountry before, knew what to expect. Jason is a hunter, but had never been in the backcountry before.
So as far as any backcountry hunting out here in Wyoming, I've gone up into the mountains and stuff, but as far as like going way back into the wilderness and stuff, I've never done that before, and the option or the opportunity came up, and it was very, very challenging for me.
Kind of never know what's going to happen, how the trip's going to go, and but just getting all the gear ready and helping the other guys, the guys that went in the first week, helping them get ready and sorting everything out. It's just kind of fun, and just knowing that, you know, actually be able to hunt this year instead of just packing things back and forth. It's kind of fun.
Leaving the trailhead on the horses and stuff, that was great. That was no problem for me. Into them foothills and, you know, getting closer to the mountain and stuff before we hit the switchbacks, that's nothing, you know. But going up them switchbacks, I mean, what a job. I mean, yes, you're on a horse and stuff, but when you're like me and heights have an issue, I was sitting there constantly worried about it. And the only way I was able to do it was just focus on the trail and not look around.
The horses, the saddles, everything worked perfect. I mean, we didn't have any problems, but man, the trail was just covered in down trees, and we cut our way through. Felt like we were, at one point we did build a new trail around just a bunch of trees that had fallen down, covered the whole trail right on a, you know, there was nowhere to go underneath of it, and it was pretty steep above it, and we basically moved a whole 3 or 4 full trees over a little ways and then kind of built up a trail to kind of go up and around them, and it was just, there's nothing else you can do. You're on the side of a mountain. You're either going to turn around and go home, or you're going to find a way through and make a way through is what we did. We cut a lot of logs that day.
And there's Jason, he made it to the top. And Austin. It's beautiful. Just came around to see our tent, and thankfully nothing's on it. Doesn't look like it's safe and sound. Came into camp. We got our electric fence here. Probably isn't working because we had a tree come down right on top. So we're gonna slice and dice. So we woke up this morning, got rolling, and it has been snowing ever since this morning. Like ever since we hold that back there, Jason. Yeah, ever since this morning we've got our electric fence up, and I actually had a bear down at the next camp down. They got a bull yesterday, hung their meat, and the bear took 2/4 of it. So, but it has been snowing. We've been kind of chilling, chatting with Jason and Austin and me. But anyway, we had kind of it was an absolute miracle last night with Jason. You want to tell us about it, Jason?
I hurt myself. Or the horse hurt me.
Yeah.
I got bit twice yesterday and stepped on.
Yeah.
What a first day, huh?
I forgot about getting bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, he got.
Didn't know if his leg was broke though.
Yeah, we didn't know if his leg was broke.
Couldn't walk, couldn't move. It was bad.
It was pretty bad. Yeah, we got in and spent an hour or two dealing with horses and cleaning up and getting camp set up and everything. We weren't planning on going hunting, but then, you know, he was putting some hobbles on. And then what happened, Jason, there?
She stepped on my leg, and she moved forward when I was putting the second hobble on, and stepped on my leg and didn't want to get off.
Yeah.
And I kind of twisted it, trying to yank it out of there. But
Yeah.
much better today.
He was able to. I mean, we had to help him up into the into the tent. It was so bad he couldn't even walk, and I mean, we looked at it and it was pretty bad. But we actually, you know, we prayed. We prayed over that leg, and we asked God that if it would be His will, that He would heal that leg by the morning. And guess what? Jason's walking this morning.
Yep.
So, all praise to Him. Yep. You got anything, Austin?
I hate it when you do this.
I know, I'm really
You got
shy.
anything?
I just...
Nope.
I hate it when you do this.
The red light panic.
Right?
Yep. Yep.
It was pretty neat to see you walking around this morning and just thank the Lord.
Yep.
It's the only real explanation. He was not walking last night. We didn't know how we were going to get him out of here. We were planning on leaving today.
Yeah. Got in last
Weren't
night.
sure he was going to be able to even ride a horse.
So we spent some of the morning cutting some firewood because of the snow and everything. Couldn't really go out and hunt because you can't glass or do anything with glassing. So we cut a bunch of firewood, you can see. And up here you have to cut it with a saw, a regular hand saw. You can't use any power equipment. So this is what we got to use right here. It's called the Dandy saw. Great saw. Actually got us in here yesterday because we had to cut out a whole bunch of stuff from the trail. But you see that right there? That's called sunshine. And right now it is breaking through.
We went down to hang our food. We'd gotten breakfast, made breakfast, went down to hang the food back up.
All right, we This elk here was shot by a couple other hunters actually down. They got their camp just down from us here. And they were using this meat pole, and last night the grizz came by and tore down a couple of quarters and took off with them. And you can see the fresh marks right in here.
We were just kind of looking around, and we've seen elk pretty close to camp there before. A couple guys have gotten shots from camp. So, you know, just keep your eyes open. And I had looked on this ridge and wasn't necessarily looking for an elk. I just looked up and saw a silhouette on the top of the ridge. And there was an elk. There was actually a couple elk up there after we got the glasses out and we're looking at it.
I can see one coming. Yep, there's one coming behind him too, I think. Yep, he's down there.
We're right at camp. Just down from camp, actually.
Oh, he's a nice bull.
He just stood there for a long time. And so we got packed up, and it wasn't that far away, so we just hiked out there.
Austin and Jason working their way up through the trees here. We're gonna try to top this little saddle and see if we can see them. I've got to get to this next little rise. They're right almost there. They're up a little ways on the hill from us. But maybe we don't have a shot from here. We'll have to range it, but it's still a long ways off. Yeah, I think we have a shot from there, to be honest with you. I think it's a good shot right there. So right now that bull's at 650 yards. He's laying down on the hillside. I'm gonna try to sneak and get closer if we can. The problem is that he can see us. The further we go, the more he can see us. We're gonna take it slow and hope he doesn't move. The snow decided to come back in. We're hoping it helps us out and doesn't hurt us. Yeah, it's sucking in more and more up here. We can still see him, but it's pretty. It's coming in. We're trying to move in closer to it with the snow. We'll have to see what happens. Give me the lowdown. Well, that bull's just laying down up there on top of the ridge. Cut about 100 yards off. We're sitting about 550 right now. We're debating whether to keep moving or see if he'll get up and move. We want him to stand up. We're gonna take a shot. He's a nice bull, and he's just, I don't know. We thought we saw two. We can't find the other one. He just seems to be on his own right now. So yeah, we got kind of a snow. The wind keeps shifting directions on us. But the snow has actually helped us get closer because it was so snowy you couldn't even see. So it helped us sneak through these trees a little bit.
So we got to a certain point, about the closest that we figured we could get, and we just sat there, and Austin had that elk laying down across on the other ridge, you know, just laying there. And so Austin, he sat there for over an hour and was just waiting to get that shot, and that elk just would not stand up or nothing for nothing.
We sat and sat and sat.
We're set up and ready to rock. Austin's got him in his sights, but this snow just won't let up. We gotta get a range. So
And we were yelling at it, we were doing whatever we could to try to get it to move. It wouldn't budge.
I don't think he's even here. It goes to wait right to him. been over an hour. Austin has to pee, but he's afraid that if he gets up to pee, this bull will get up as well. You know, that's usually the way it works.
Screw being quiet.
That's where I'm at. Forget that nonsense. This guy needs to stand.
As we were sitting there looking at him, my neck's getting tired, and so I just kind of raised my head up and looked down, and down in the valley below us, 200 yards, big old grizzly bear just milling around with a bear box down there.
Disappointing. We got a grizz right here. Look at this guy. That is not cool. That's a big bear. That is a big bear. Put that jerky away.
We watch him for a while, and he starts walking back towards our camp. So we're like, well, okay, we'll let him. I guess he's going to go that way, which is great for us at the moment. And all of a sudden, I don't know what he saw or smelled, or something spooked him, and he just wheeled and took off right up behind the ridge where that elk was laying. And all of us kind of decided at that point, we didn't really want to fight the bear for the elk if we shot it, so we just let him go. But he never did stand up, and we never did get a shot, but very interesting experience, to say the least.
So, we got pushed off this bull today because of a bear. And we came down this evening just to kind of see if he's still there. Sure enough, there he is. We're just not interested in dealing with a dead bull and a grizz at night, and we would be there still if he had shot it. And you know, going in the evening with the grizz right there, and he actually took 2 panniers from the next camp over here. He took 2 hindquarters. He got both his hindquarters the other night, and so we know he's out for meat. So it's just not the right scenario. Absolutely beautiful sky. All right, Austin eating some breakfast. Jason getting ready to rock today. Getting more water, Jason?
Yep.
We've got the jet boils running. And we've got the stove running. Coffee's perking right now. We are getting ready for a down bull or 2 today. Well, we came down here to try to see if that bull was still there from last night, and he has left. That's disappointing. We were gonna make a play on him this morning, but it is what it is. Yeah, sat there long enough yesterday. We thought we might just sit there this morning, but it's obviously moved. Oh, right there, right there. Right there he is. Right, there's 2 of them. 3, 4, 5. Where are you seeing? Right there. Up there. Oh no. Now I don't see a bull. I see a spike. There's a bull.
There's a bull.
He,
in the trees?
he would work.
Oh,
He would work.
moving him around in there.
Yeah.
Are you in the trees?
He's a decent bull. There's another cow.
We saw them out in the open, and then they went down in a draw, and we followed them down until they went out of sight.
We got the horses saddled and took off.
All right, so we got big old bear prints right here. I think this is the same one we saw last night as he came around the corner. So he was right by our camp. All right, heading up here to hopefully get this bull. We were actually sitting right there yesterday when that bear walked just below us down this bottom and worked his way up that way. And then he went up this ridge, up in there. So we're hoping that he ain't around. These elk tracks were on the same herd that we were on. You can see from down at the camp. So actually we can see right here, these elk were bedding. There's an elk bed right there. Right in here, there's an elk bed right there. So they're bedding in here, frequenting this. It is steep, we're trying to make it to. We got, actually you can see camp all the way in the bottom. Right there.
It was some rough terrain, the logs laying everywhere, and it was so steep, and the wind was just unbearable. I mean,
it's just super steep here.
Found the elk again. They were bedded down in the trees, and we got on. There was a nice bull in there, but
Yeah, there's a nice bull.
the wind was just howling.
All right, so those elk just wanted to sit there and they didn't give us a shot. So what we're gonna do, we decided we're gonna work up the ridge a little bit differently, see if we can come in a different angle on them, and maybe we can get a shot. We just don't want to sit up here in the wind all stinking day. It'd be kind of chilly. So we're having to work our way up this steep slope, and we'll see if we can't get up on the other side. It's just a little windy up here. We're gonna have to wait for a drop in the wind. He's the, dang it.
Both Joel and I thought it hit the first shot.
Hit him again. I don't know. I think you nailed him. I think you got him.
We took 3 or 4 more shots, and those all missed. So we thought, well, we think we hit him, so we're gonna go try to find him.
This top.
So we left Jason there with the horses, and we hike out across this ridge, and there was no blood. There was tracks. There was no blood in the tracks. We followed the tracks. We followed his individual tracks and tracked him all the way up over the next ridge, and then he just disappeared down in the timber on the other side, and which And it's not like that timber's real close. It was a huge ridge, and he just was gone. So we don't think we hit him. Unfortunately, that one got away.
We were very disappointed. A lot of excitement, hoping to get Austin this bull. And to see him go over the top like that was very frustrating when I know the gun was on. And actually, shortly after that hunt, my wife shot a bull at 625 yards with that exact same gun. So we know it wasn't the gun, and I don't believe it was the operator. Austin's a pretty good shot. And so the only thing that could come into play was that wind.
We make our way back down to camp, just to kind of rest and maybe go back out that afternoon. And a guy that was camped down below us on the trail, he'd been riding back and forth, and we'd kind of been talking to him a little bit, and he came riding up the trail, and we were down by the food pole again, getting ready to get our stuff out for lunch. And so all of a sudden he kind of just wheeled his horse and kind of charged down into the creek bank, yelling and making all kinds of noise. I thought, what in the world is going on? And he had a couple healers with him, dogs, and he yells at them, go get him! And less than 100 yards from where we were, maybe within 75, almost 50 yards. Fortunate, really, that that guy was coming up the trail at the time and had a good angle and just could see him, and had his dogs with him, set the dogs on him, and then those dogs, man, they worked that bear over, just chased him out of there, annoyed him, and it was neat to see that bear that close. That's probably as close as I want to see one. They can be right around the corner and you have no idea. After we got done chasing the bear off, the guy came up and he said, hey, I was just riding in on the trail and there's a bull just bedded down in a kind of in a draw in the trail where the trail switches between two ridges. There's a bull bedded down right there. 75 meters.
All right, we got the bull located.
The trees were just so thick and everything, and so I sat there and just waited and waited.
Still some brush right there, isn't
And
there?
then nothing could happen,
Yeah.
so we moved to another spot, moved lower down the hill a little bit to see if I couldn't get it through them trees there, and I just wasn't having it, and so we decided to go down the trail farther and see if we couldn't get closer to them.
Got Jason set up, but again, you can get set up on these things and they just will not give you a shot. They just, trees,
Right.
whatever happens, they move. They're not stationary, so they're constantly moving, and they always stop with trees right in the wrong spot.
The wind was still, it was just unbearable, and the trees were moving, and I did take a shot.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
I think he shot high, just right over. You can almost see the bullet hit right over him.
It's going downhill. Did I get him? It's running downhill. Stopped. He stopped. Get another shot. It's right here. Jason, right here. In these little creases right here. Right here. Right here. Right here.
And then they all moved, so we decided to try to get closer to them, and we walked down the trail a ways and found them again.
course, the cow and the calf take off, the bull takes off. I had a cow call, was able to cow call, and he stopped up on top of a ridge. We got another shot.
I shot high.
Yeah. Missed again. He came down the ridge.
Coming right back. Oh, your ass okay, off. There he is.
And then after that shot, he just kind of ran, and we couldn't see him anymore. He took off.
Just couldn't connect on this bull.
I was disappointed, you know, in myself and the whole situation, but that's part of hunting.
After Jason missed that bull, here we are coming back down into the valley, and I could see up another draw on the other side, way on the other side.
The sun was just beating down, and you could just see elk all over this valley. And so that actually helped lift our spirits. Like, okay, there's more than the ones we were looking at in here. And there was several bulls in that herd, but it was getting towards evening, so we thought, okay, we know where they are tonight. They're probably bed down, not too far off where they are right now. So we'll come back in the morning. I think everybody by the end of that third day was just kind of like drained. This was the third bull we had missed or not been able to get a shot, or didn't connect. It had been a really rough trip in, hard, just a lot of work. Jason gets stepped on by a horse. We think his leg's broken, so he's hobbling around. The weather is just, it's constantly changing. It's snowing, then it's sunny, and every night the wind just howling. You could hear it coming. You could hear it build and just crash down the mountains, and literally crash down the mountains, trees falling all over the place. Jason and I's boots were not working. Our feet were soaked from morning till night every day. We were kind of just suffering through it at this point. It was like, we're up here to get a bull, but man, let's get that bull and let's get home.
We headed up into that draw, and sure enough, there they were.
And I don't know, there must have been 50 head or so, at least, I think. And so we were going to try, we went ahead and tried to make a move on them.
Alright, we snuck up here, took a long horse ride, and got above these elk. And there's several bulls in the group. We just gotta find them. So we found 3 bulls laying on the opposite bank. Both of them are laying like up the bank, broadside to us now. We're trying to work to get a better shot, but if we move uphill, we're gonna lose our shots. We're gonna try to work down and around the point here and try to shoot back up at them this way. And maybe even there's a bigger bull that we did not have a shot on, and we might be able to get a shot on him if we move further down. Jason, what do you think, man? 2 bulls are going down.
I had got focused in on my bull, and he was laying down, staring. I mean, his head was right at me, and the trees, the trees so close to each other, and everything else. It was a tricky shot, and so we waited for Austin to pick out another bull and try to do this at the same time.
And I couldn't get a good angle on the one. So I'm crawling back and forth in the snow on the backside of this ridge. The elk can't see me. But anyways, we finally got to a point where we thought, okay, we have a good shot. And so Jason shoot.
You hit him.
I was able to shoot through them trees, and I did hit him. He stood up, and then I put another bullet in. At the same time, Austin shot, and turns out we were shooting at the same bull, and but the bull dropped, and that's what we were up there for.
And I think they worked something out where Jason gave him some back straps or something in the end.
Took our time getting the right shot.
A long time.
Crawled around in the snow a lot.
Yes, we did.
Trying to shoot 2 of them at the same time, and we're not sure what happened on that. We did get 1 down.
Yeah. Austin?
Yeah, that's basically it. I don't know where the herd ran off to, but you know, they're still around here somewhere. But yeah, we got a nice bull on the ground and getting ready to pack him out. The mental side of that hunt was tough. You can either decide, well, this is the worst thing I have ever done and I'm never doing it again, or you can embrace that and you can enjoy it as an adventure and say, hey, this, you know, I'm not gonna die up here, but you know, we're gonna have to tough out some stuff.
As far as the whole trip went, you know, it was a great thing to experience. I tell myself that I probably couldn't do it again, but then I second guessed myself, and part of me wants to do it again before I do get too much older. But it's something I'm gonna have to ponder on for a while. I know I'd done something that so many people, hunters out there, that have never done and never probably will be able to do. You know, that was a milestone in itself. It was a lot of hard work, but it was a great experience.
But yeah, it's cold and windy. Coming down, packing out, backcountry 2020. Trying to turn a corner here with a horse. Sometimes she doesn't want to stick to the trail, but it is very windy. That's one reason they call it Windy Ridge. But I tell you what, the views are absolutely stunning up here, especially with a little snow on the mountains. And man, we are so blessed to be able to see God's power, God's creation, God's beauty. This gives us a picture of what God's beauty is like. Just a picture. Because you know what? When we get to heaven, heaven's going to be more